Today we're looking at the NUX 63 diamond pedal to see if it can capture that chimey three-dimensional VOX sound that we love so much. Stay tuned, we're gonna find out. Welcome back, folks. The NUX 63 Diamond is marketed as a tribute to the legendary tones of the early 60s British invasion. And after a few minutes of playing this, there's no denying that it's aiming squarely at that classic VOX flavor with a little extra versatility baked in. So how close does it get? And could it actually rival playing into a real VOX amplifier? Well, that's what we're going to be finding out today. We're going to be diving in, we're going to be playing this, and we're going to be seeing just how much convincing it can do. Let's take a closer look at the pedal and the knobs and switches at our disposal first, then we'll get into a few playing samples. Now, as you can probably see, the unit is fairly simple. It's got a nice solid enclosure, which is typical of most of the NUX pedals that I've played. Now, the artwork on this pedal is fairly obvious as to what it's aiming to be. The diamond pattern, reminiscent of the grille on the front of those vintage VOX amplifiers, and it pretty much says it all. We have 3 knobs and a switch at our disposal. We have volume on one side, which basically sets the overall level and gain. We have the master here, which basically controls the overall master volume. We have a knob right here for cutting or boosting all of those treble frequencies. And of course, we have a little switch here on the right-hand side, which is basically a top boost switch, and that engages the high frequencies. We have a solid toggle switch, which turns the unit on and off. We have the usual LED that shows you that it's working. It also has the ability to be powered up by a 9-volt power supply or a battery, and I like the fact that NUX even includes a battery in the unit. How sweet is that? Not that many pedal companies these days still throw in a free battery. So the battery is an option with this unit in case you don't like too many cables in your way. It's true bypass, and it's basically all analog circuitry so that it ensures that the core tone remains pure when your pedal is not engaged and you're running it through a series of other pedals. That's always great to have. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm itching to hear this pedal, so let's make some noise. For the playing demo, I'll be using my Brunetti Pleximan, which has more of a Marshall sound to it, to see if this pedal can really make us believe that we're playing a VOX amplifier. It's kind of like the acid test. I'll stay on the clean setting on the amp so we can get most of the flavor coming from the pedal and a little less coming from the amplifier. I'll be playing my Charvel SoulCal here, which is a really cool guitar that's going to be reviewed in an upcoming video, and we're going to see whether or not we can get some great tones. So let's get to it. So here are some of my immediate impressions. Basically, I was impressed by the sensitivity of the tone control knobs. They're very intuitive controls, but they let me shape the sound and the character of my tone quite easily. And I really like the way the volume and master knobs here interact like a real amplifier. So if you leave the volume low and pump up the master, you get the clean sounds. If you do the opposite and you bring down the master and really pump up the volume, you can really drive quite a bit of gain out of the pedal. Now at the low gain settings, I felt that the pedal really shined for that AC30 style clean jangle that you heard at the end. The notes ring out with that really nice glassiness without sounding harsh or anything like that, and you can actually get it cleaner than what I had dialed in those samples. So when you get to the mid-gain settings, here it starts to sound like a pushed Vox amplifier, similar to the way players like Brian May, Tom Petty used it. Gritty, but still articulate, and I really like that. It's a big difference between what I usually get from a Marshall amp, say. So there's a soft compression and a natural breakup that feels tube-like to me with this particular pedal. Now when you get to the higher gain settings, cranking the gain or the volume here gives you a more aggressive Marshall-y type drive, but with the chimey DNA that still remains underneath. I hope you heard it through those sound samples. And I felt like those sounds were very Vox-like to me when you dime an AC30. So it's not something you can easily get in the room if you have a real AC30. So this is why having a pedal like this could really come in super handy when you want to control the sound at more reasonable volumes. There's no pedal that can fully replace the sound of a real amplifier, and especially a cranked AC30 or an original Vox AC15, especially when it comes to that complex interaction between tubes and speakers and all the room sound and everything. But what the NUX did pull off here is impressive for a pedal that costs a fraction, you know, less than a fraction of a real boutique amplifier like a vintage Vox. I think my favorite part of this pedal is it doesn't lose that dynamic response that you really want to have. So when you dig into your pick attack, it gives you more grit. If you loosen up a little bit, it gives you more harmonic, rich overtones, and you can really get those really nice sparkling cleans if you dial it in right. So my final thoughts on this pedal is if you love Vox tones, but don't have a Vox or don't have a budget for a Vox, or patient neighbors perhaps that will let you crank a Vox to get those super nice, juicy, gritty overdrive sounds, then you might want to look at the NUX 63 Diamond. It's a seriously good alternative, folks, and it's perfect for the guys who want authentic British invasion tone at lower volume. Drop me your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think of the sound samples that I provided in this video. Let me know what you think of the pedal if you already have one. And most importantly, guys, last but not least, hit that subscribe button so that you can check out more of my review videos as they pop up on my channel. And there will be more. See you in the next one, guys.